Good morning. It's good to see all of you here. This press conference is happening in conjunction with three others throughout the state. My partners, the fellow U.S. attorneys in the Southern, Northern, and Eastern District are doing this at roughly the same time so that we can get this message across. Good morning. I'm Jaime Esparza, and I am the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Texas. To my right is Robert Topper, Special Agent in charge with ATF, the Houston Field Division. And with us in the crowd is Sarah Mauricio, Resident Agent in charge from Austin, Texas. So today, in conjunction with the other three U.S. Attorney's offices in the state, I'm announcing the launch of Operation Texas Kill Switch. Operation Texas Kill Switch is a joint effort of the U.S. Attorney's Office and the ATF field divisions to crack down on the possession of machine gun conversion devices. This is going to be an operative word, machine gun conversion devices. These devices are also known as switches, sears, and chips. And they're fairly simple devices, just a few inches long, made of metal or plastic, that convert commercially available semi-automatic rifles or handguns into fully automatic weapons, rapidly firing multiple rounds with a single squeeze of the trigger. Under federal law, switches themselves are considered machine guns. And with the exception of very limited circumstances, the possession of a machine gun, including the possession of a switch itself, is illegal and carries the maximum sentence of 10 years in federal prison. Unfortunately, we've seen a sharp increase in the number of switches on our streets across Texas, and they are alarmingly popular among juveniles. Switches have been used in many deadly shootings in the U.S., including one mass shooting at a Sweet 16 birthday party in Alabama last year. In Houston, a police officer was killed during an attempted arrest when the suspect opened fire using one of these devices. Here in San Antonio, we charged a member of the anti-government extremist group, the Boogaloo Boys, with felon in possession of a firearm. He had been manufacturing switches for AR-15 semi-automatic rifles and is now serving over 8 years in federal prison. As U.S. attorneys and federal law enforcement agents, our offices have been investigating and prosecuting switches for many years. But as the problem continues to escalate, we are determined to do more. Operation Kill Switch has two main goals. One, we encourage state and local law enforcement to be on the lookout for machine gun conversion devices. And two, we urge the public to report switches to law enforcement. As a member of the community, you can anonymously submit online tips to atf.org. Operation Kill Switch falls under the umbrella of Project Safe Neighborhoods. Project Safe Neighborhoods is a federally funded program, a nationwide initiative that brings together federal, state, local, and tribal law enforcement officials, prosecutors, and community leaders to identify the most pressing violent crime problems in the community. Together, we develop comprehensive solutions to address them, like this one today. Additionally, we are proud to announce that we have partnered with Texas Crime Stoppers to combat the proliferation of these machine gun conversion devices, these switches. And from now until August 31st, Crime Stoppers will offer rewards of up to $5,000 for information regarding switches or manufacturing devices being used to produce switches. Community members can call their local Crime Stoppers office at **8477 or **TIPS at any time. By law, your identity is guaranteed to remain anonymous. And now, if you just welcome ATF Houston Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Rob Topper, who can dive deeper into these devices, and then we'll take some questions.
Thank you, sir. That'll help. All right, good morning. My name is Robert Topper. I am the Assistant Special Agent in charge for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Houston Field Division. I oversee ATF operations here in San Antonio. I'm here today to speak about the growing concern of machine gun conversion devices in our communities. These devices, also known as switches, sears, or chips, as the U.S. Attorney mentioned, they possess the capability of turning semi-automatic firearms into fully automatic machine guns. Unlike semi-automatic firearms, which require a single trigger pull, switch-equipped guns can discharge multiple rounds with a single trigger pull, and in some cases, that firing rate outpaces military-grade machine guns. I want to highlight the danger that these weapons present. So because of that increased firing rate, these weapons are notoriously difficult to control and notoriously difficult to aim. That brings a much greater risk to innocent bystanders whenever they're used. ATF investigations have identified several sources of machine guns, or machine gun conversion devices, or MCDs. These include foreign manufacturers who illegally import them through e-commerce sites, as well as domestic sources. MCDs can be manufactured domestically by several methods, one of which is 3D printing. In Texas, there's been a notable rise in the presence of these switches or these machine gun conversion devices on the streets. Between 2017 and 2023, ATF agents based in Texas have seized just under 1,000 of these devices. But half of those in that time frame were seized in the last calendar year. So you can see the problem is growing. To add to the problem, these devices have a particular appeal to young people who are exposed to them through social media posts and advertisements. As Mr. Esparza mentioned, tragically these switches have been used in several fatal shootings across the country, including the death of an 11-year-old boy in a drive-by shooting in Cincinnati, Ohio, which then again highlights the uncontrollable nature of these firearms when they're switch equipped, or when they're machine gun conversion device equipped. And then again, in nearby Houston, a police officer was killed during an arrest operation by one of these modified weapons. The ATF is working with our law enforcement partners and actively investigating individuals involved in the possession and manufacture of these illegal devices. A machine gun conversion device by itself is illegal to possess. However, the danger comes when it's attached to functioning firearms. We've seen here in San Antonio that firearms are often modified with switches or machine gun conversion devices after they are stolen from law-abiding citizens. San Antonio, like other cities, has a problem of firearms theft from vehicles, and those stolen firearms provide a ready supply to those who would seek to equip those guns with the switches or with the machine gun conversion devices and then sell them on the black market. The widespread availability of these machine gun conversion devices poses a significant threat to public safety and requires our immediate attention. It's essential for us to work together, ATF, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the District Attorney's Office, local law enforcement, to address this issue and protect our communities from the dangers of gun violence. ATF is proud to partner with the United States Attorney's Office and Crime Stoppers groups across the states and Crime Stoppers is offering an award for rewards for switches and the 3D printers that are being used to manufacture them. Once again, citizens can dial **TIPS, TIPS, to be connected with their local Crime Stoppers office. And if they want to submit a tip directly to ATF, they can go online to www.atf.gov/contact/ATF-tips. And I believe now we may have a video. Now what you're seeing here is a demonstration of a machine gun conversion device attached to a pistol. Now, a couple things I want to highlight. This agent that's testing this firearm with the switch equipped, with the machine gun conversion device equipped, he's well trained. He's got a good, strong shooting platform, and those rounds are going where he intends. Generally, the folks that are attaching these devices to firearms don't have that much control over a weapon. And you can see how it's pushing him back. So at this time, I guess we'll take any questions.
Yeah, if there's any questions?
Yes, could you give us some more local examples of where switches have been used? You mentioned the manufacturing charge against a member of the Boogaloo Boys, but what about any shootings? Are you aware of anywhere switches have been employed here in San Antonio or Bexar County?
You know, we have one other case in the office, and I can't give you the details about that case. Oh, sorry. We have one other case in the office that we're working on. I can't give you the details of that case, but what we are finding is, I think the last time we had a press conference, we were talking about the guns in vehicles. We are seeing that those guns that once we recover them, they have a switch already on them.
What kind of weapons are you seeing this most with? The Glocks or longer rifles? Where are they most prevalent?
You probably can answer that
Sure.
better.
So we do see them attached to Glock style pistols. There are also our conversion devices that will transform like a semi-automatic AR platform into a fully automatic rifle.
Is this the first time that there's been this type of initiative?
I think the answer would be yes, where all 4 U.S. attorneys across the state have decided that this is a growing problem. You know, that little device is considered a machine gun. And we are very fearful of what will happen if we don't start addressing this problem. You can see from the video how deadly that handgun became because it had a switch. And I don't have a switch here to show you, but it's only going to be about this big on the back of that Glock-style weapon. It's only going to be about that big, maybe that wide, and maybe that long, right? It can be made of metal or it can be made of plastic, and it's dangerous. And in an AR-15 type weapon, it's a different device. It kind of looks like an S, right?
Like an S or a hook.
Like a hook. You just pop that, and I'm not a gun person, but I've seen the video. You pop that thing open, slide the device into it, and automatically became from a semi-automatic weapon where you pull the trigger each time, to you just pull the trigger once and you unload that clip.
Are these people buying the switches? Are they manufacturing themselves? Like, you mentioned 3D printers being utilized. How easy is it for someone, regardless?
You wanna
of
try that?
Okay.
Could you repeat that question for me one more time?
The devices that are manufactured in what ways?
Are we seeing them?
So-
Are we seeing the users more from the who use them or the guy that's manufacturing?
So actually, we have some ongoing investigations, which I can't get into the details of, but we do find that the switches are already attached to the firearms generally when we take them into custody, and then we do what we can to track down the source of those firearms. And in some cases, they come through, they're actually made abroad and they're shipped in illegally, and then they're distributed. And then there's times where they are 3D printed as well, and that just depends on how savvy the person is that's distributing them.
How worrying is it that there seems to be a market for this type of device? From which countries are these devices coming from?
They're actually coming from several different ones, and we could probably put you more in touch with ATF as a whole, and they could give you some more information on that. As far as how worrying they are, this is a growing problem. This as you can see in the last year alone, we've confiscated half of the machine gun conversion devices that we've confiscated in the last 6 years, right? So, and there's no sign of it slowing down at this time. So we're doing whatever we can to curb the flow of these machine gun conversion devices.
The penalty for getting caught with a switch is 10 years, I believe you're saying?
Right.
Correct.
Is that also going for teens underage being caught with those switches?
The law would apply, but we are working now with our state partners so that we can see if we can start working together, exploring the avenue of having state prosecution on these switches. So there's still there's some room to grow there, but we're hoping that we'll have some success.
What is the status of the legal status of switches in Texas law? I mean, obviously, you're talking about federally, but Texas.
Some jurisdictions are prosecuting them. I know that Harris County is exploring that, and they have been successful in prosecuting some. Bexar County is also exploring that. I can't tell about the other jurisdictions.
But I mean, the status under state law, is it also explicitly illegal, or are you only able to prosecute this on a federal level?
Well, we can clearly prosecute it under a federal level. Under state law, it's more vague. It's more obscure. So Harris County is now exploring the statute, the weapons statutes, in order to prosecute them, and they are successful, and they have been successful doing that. And Bear County is now exploring that as well. It's not quite as clear cut, if I hope I'm answering your question.
Why is it a gray area in state law?
Just the way the law is written. You know, I think if you look at, I think our numbers are from 2017 to 2025, or maybe 2019, we had 1,000. We recovered 1,000. ATF agents covered 1,000 switches in Texas. And in 2023, 500 of those were recovered. So it's an ongoing problem. I think it's something that the state of Texas had to address so quickly, but now it's an ongoing problem that they're going to have to address.
Sorry, did you say 1,000 in 2022 or this year? Sorry.
In 2023, we covered, Texas ATF agents recovered 500 switches approximately. And over the last 6 years, we had recovered 1,000. So 50% of them were recovered last year.
Is there an enhanced charge for manufacturing and distributing them?
You know, I don't think so. Is there an enhanced charge, John?
Not under the statute, but it's taken into consideration as since.
Are these similar to Hellfire devices?
You'd have to, I have no idea what that is, sorry.
Yeah. In the sense, they operate differently, but I'm not the firearms expert to tell you about that, the actual mechanics of it. But we could absolutely provide you with a contact at ATF HQ that actually makes those determinations and get you that answer.
I know that the Uvalde shooter Hellfire device was found, so it sounded very similar to this that you're talking about.
Yeah, I can tell you they operate a little differently. But that's the extent that I can tell you.
Bump stock, right? at the
No.
Hellfire?
No.
Will this program help local police determine where these are being produced?
Well, we're hoping to, through Operation Texas Kill Switch, we're hoping to work conjunctively with our state and local partners so that we can make advancements in this area. So I think the simple answer is yes, because we're working together, and hopefully we will have some success in taking these off the street. I mean, I think to your question, are we finding the switch or the manufacturer? I believe that both are dangerous, but what's really dangerous is one thing is to find someone who commits a crime with a weapon. That is already dramatically a problem. Now we're going to find someone who commits a crime with a handgun or rifle that uses a switch, which now makes it exponentially more dangerous, not only to law enforcement, but to those around them as a result of having put the switch on or adapting the switch to that rifle or handgun.
I know you mentioned that they were being marketed on social media and things like that. Could you be a bit more specific about how they're buying their marketing? And are you trying to proactively or preemptively catch these sales before they actually hit the street?
When we locate them on social media, we do make every attempt to shut that down and then to seek prosecution if able to stop the flow and go after that distributor.
Have there ever been instances where you try to come across, hey, I want to buy a switch, but you end up a sting operation of sorts to catch the source of this individual?
I don't want to get into any kind of investigative techniques.
Hmm. I don't have any data on me at the moment, but I'll work on that and I'll have Michael reach out to you.
Are these being sold in any regular gun stores, or are these all coming online or from home manufacturing?
So, except under really limited circumstances, these are not allowed by anyone. They can't be sold in a gun store. These are all essentially black market sales.
Wait, you said under really limited circumstances, such as?
So there's some, and again, that has to do more with the industry side of ATF, which I'd have to follow up with you on the answer for that. But there are some very specific conditions that would allow a store to have them, but not to sell them. They wouldn't be able to sell them to the public.
Yeah, so that would be, if you have some kind of level 4, level 5 license, and you're selling between gun sellers or something like that.
Probably something like that. But again, I'd have to get more specific from the industry side for you.
Is there any onus being put on gun manufacturers to stop them from being able to be converted like this?
Well, that's not that I know of. I know that some handguns and rifles can can be adapted with the switch or with the SEER, which is used for the RF-15 rifle, but I do not know that.
You mentioned their popularity amongst juveniles and I guess youth suspects. Could you talk more about that? Why you think that you're seeing that and how that's manifesting?
Well, I think that we just see we see juvenile crime as a serious problem. One is I think that both the juvenile and the people who use them know that the penalties are less if you're a juvenile, and I think as a result we see more juveniles involved in crime, and as a result we see them using weapons, and now we're seeing these weapons with these machine gun conversion devices.
I meant more, how are you seeing that actually manifest? You say it is more popular.
All right.
What makes you say that specifically?
I don't have any raw numbers in front of me. I can tell you just from talking to those officers on the street, to the agents who are doing these investigations, that we're seeing more of these switches in these crimes. I don't have a specific number.
The Boogaloo Boys, I guess like the case has already been adjudicated. Do you know the defendant's name?
I don't, but I can get that for you. We can get that for him, Mike.
You mentioned that the Crime Stopper award is for the device, I think the person who has the device, or also a machine that's being used to actually manufacture them. Is there a different penalty if you are manufacturing a device than if you have possession of one?
I think John answered that one.
If they,
Yeah, there's an enhanced statute for trafficking, so if you're trafficking those devices, that it's another statute. Possession of machine gun is a 10-year statute.
remember that the switch itself is considered a machine gun. The switch itself.
So how do you, y'all talked about it coming from out of the country and being shipped in abroad. How do you look for that? I'm assuming it's a tiny little switch. The cops go through and put his purse in his luggage, or how would you find that coming up across the border through an airport, something like that?
Sometimes U.S. Customs and Border Protection is able to stop them at the ports. They'll throw, from a package inspection. Sometimes they're shipped with an alternate label. There's just lots of ways they're able to come in, but generally it'd be from shipping.
Okay. I thank you for your time and coming out for the press conference and allowing us to talk on this important issue. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was okay.
Yeah, fine.
Still getting some reps in on these.
Oh, no.
First name Mark, M-A-R-K. Ryan, R-Y-A-N. And last name Hauser, H-A-U-S-E-R.
Would you repeat that again?
Sure, yes. First name Mark, Ryan, all traditional spelling. Hauser is spelled H-A-U-S-E-R.
And that was who, sir?
That was who they were just mentioning as the Boogaloo Boy.
He was caught with
He-
switches.
Right. So you can find that. I can actually send that to you with the file, the link to that press release. But yes, he was sentenced to 100 months for one count of felon in possession of a firearm, and that was June 8th last year.
He was the one that they said was Highland distributed. Selling them.
Let me read about Mark Ryan Hauser, KABD's.
What's the